It's 4 a.m. on a dark, windy, cold November morning. I'm driving across town to pick up drugs because I need them badly. My passenger is a 5-time felon, and my backseat is full of stolen property. Just behind my backseat is a trunk full of incriminating evidence, much of which will be used to commit fraud. I'm driving fast, and then it happens. Blue and red flashing lights, my stomach drops. The officer steps to my window and he asks for my ID. I have 4 of them, all with my picture, none with my name. Which one do I give him? My soul is colder than the chill in the air, but the wind feels nice. I'm surprised I can feel anything, but in a way, I'm relieved. And there I am with 11 felony charges, feeling like the weight of the world is on my chest. I knew I needed to change. For me, it took jail and a 12-step program called Narcotics Anonymous to get clean, but not everybody's story has to include jail. And for those people, there's an amazing recovery program offered by the Salvation Army. People struggling with active addiction affect our community in many ways, but by donating goods to the Salvation Army, we can lessen this problem by saving just one life at a time. I've spent many days learning about the miraculous difference the Salvation Army makes in the lives of many addicts, but I've also spent many years as an addict myself, so I know firsthand the amount of havoc wreaked on our community by those struggling with addiction. Today, I'd like to talk about how addiction affects us all, what the Salvation Army is doing to help, and what society would be like if we all put just a little more action into our compassion. Now that we're familiar with the topic, let me share with you just how real this problem is. People struggling with active addiction negatively affect every one of us in some way. Our bodies are affected. I say our because according to Chelsea Grinstead, a writer for the Gainesville Sun, 22% of college students are addicted to drugs. That means statistically, there are 4 people in this room alone struggling with addiction. Whether it's marijuana or methamphetamine, alcohol or Adderall, you are hurting yourself. But the addict isn't the only one getting hurt. Our families are affected. Per an interview I conducted with Lieutenant McDaniel, who's an administrator at the local Salvation Army here, right here in Las Vegas, for each person addicted, 8 are affected. That means innocent people are being emotionally hurt. Have you ever hurt or been hurt by someone in this way? For myself, I've been on both sides and they are equally devastating. Our community is affected. More than half the people arrested for major offenses such as murder and theft were on drugs around the time of their arrest. I can only speak for myself, but it's no coincidence that I stopped committing crimes when I stopped using drugs. It's heartbreaking to be face to face with the truth of addiction, but thankfully there's an organization dedicated to helping this problem. The Salvation Army is making a difference in the lives of many addicts. It's more than the thrift store we all picture, it's also an adult rehabilitation center. This program is helping men and women recover from drug and alcohol abuse, and it's offered in all 50 states. The program lasts 6 months, but addicts are welcome to stay for up to a year so that they can feel comfortable entering society clean and sober. While there are certainly other recovery programs out there, few match the 27 to 36% completion rate of the Salvation Army. According to Michael Nolan, a writer for a newspaper called The Sun, this program is absolutely free to the participant, which is huge because so many addicts come in not only broken, but broke. All those seeking recovery are accepted. People come from parole and probation, from drug court, medical detox, and some just wake up one day and go, you know what, I want to change my life, and they walk right in off the street. They are provided housing, clothing, counseling, and super tasty meals just like that one. I actually had that and it was delicious. This program is ideal for recovery because it imitates the real world, but in a controlled environment. They help addicts regain personal structure through strict dress and hygiene codes, and their rooms must be neat and organized at all times. I had the opportunity, the privilege really, to go down there and tour this facility and meet with some of the administrators, and I will say that place is spotless. You can eat off the floors. They are definitely like this, and I think that it's important. Program participants also work in the warehouse. This is where all donated goods are brought to be organized and properly distributed to thrift stores across the valley. This is where they learn many skills, including time management, that help them better adapt to the workplace upon release. Although not just a thrift store, those stores are a huge part of the Salvation Army, and the donation of clothing is imperative. According to Nick Ferrero, a writer for the St. Paul Pioneer Press, 60% of the income generated is from clothing donations alone. I also conducted a survey of this class and found that every single person in here said that they have clothes that they'd be willing to donate. Now, I'm not asking you for the shirt off your back, but giving something is always better than giving nothing, and there's no time like right now. The most important thing to remember is the income generated from those thrift stores are the only revenue stream funding these rehabs. They're the only thing that is keeping it free. By now, we know that the Salvation Army offers a really great recovery program, but you still might be questioning, why should this be the organization that I give my goods to? Donating goods to the Salvation Army will help the local Las Vegas community. Saving the life of just one addict can leave a positive ripple effect. When I was out there using, I was doing no good for society, but here I am today. I'm giving a speech in college. I'm an amazing daughter, I'm an amazing mother, and I'm an amazing friend. There was a wonderful person stuck inside the body of a junkie, and I believe that to be true of many addicts, that given the opportunity, they too can become productive members of society. One of the reasons I'm so behind the Salvation Army is because integrity runs deep there. They are extremely proud to say that 83 cents of every dollar generated goes to local community services, as they are one of the most efficient organizations in the world. There are multiple benefits to you to donating also. You can decrease clutter. Maybe you have old furniture sitting in storage that you're just not going to use. Donate. Maybe you have a closet stuffed with clothes that you don't wear anymore. Donate. Maybe you have an old car sitting in your driveway that doesn't work anymore. Donate. The Salvation Army will even send a truck out for free to pick up your donations. And if you're someone that needs to get something in order to give something, then donating is right for you too. Because according to the Salvation Army website, your donations are a tax write-off. This is such an amazing organization, and I am thankful to have learned so much about it. In conclusion, people struggling with drug and alcohol addiction are a real problem here in Las Vegas, but it is a problem worth solving. And while the Salvation Army is an organization based on helping others, it needs your help too. And I have personally arranged for a Salvation Army truck to be here on the CSN campus this Saturday, May 2nd, eagerly awaiting your donations. Saving the life of just one addict by donating your clothes, that might not seem like much, but what if that life belonged to your mother, to your child? What if that life was yours?